Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it won't. You be the judge.
Yeah, it need to be
So,
full well. Just like that.
I'll put respect on my name. Sheena. So lovely.
And then she rides all the way up and defend herself.
They will either watch your lifestyle or learn to live it themselves. It's not nothing that you can prove to them. Like, try Jesus. Try him. Welcome to Maybe We Can Help, the podcast where we give our unsolicited advice. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. You be the judge. I'm Tasia Royale.
I'm Sheena.
I'm Risha.
And I remember our topic today is is it okay or should people get married between the ages of 18 and 21? So we're going to start off with that, and we're going to go into some other topics as well about age in marriage and dating. So since we all pretty much got married very young, what would you guys suggest? Is 18 to 21 a good age to marry? Bad age? Pro, con? Let's lay it out there.
I think marriage is subjective to the individual. I think overall, if I was to have an overall opinion on this, I would say that getting married young is great to do because you grow together, you learn things together. And usually, I mean, for me, I know when I'm looking at people and they're older when they get married, they've already learned to kind of do things their way, paying bills their way, saving money their way. Basically, everything is their way. And then you have the trying task of integrating another person into that and trying things like compromising on figuring out how to compromise, rather, where you give and where you can take on the subject of how you're going to do things, run a household, and all that. But when you are young and discovering yourself, you kind of figure that out together. And so it becomes, this is how we do it versus this is how I do it, to me. But I know that that's also very subjective, and sometimes people need to grow up some before they can get into a relationship. So it's subjective, if you ask me.
That was funny. Personally, I would say it definitely depends. But in my opinion, I feel like there is no rush at 18 to 21 because, like, you don't even really fully know yourself. Like, and from my aspect, I would have waited because I was 22 when I got married, but I am divorced. And I was only married for a year and 2 months. But the thing is, he was 8 years older than me, so I thought that had a good factor in it, but it didn't because age is genuinely a number. So I guess if you are ready at 18 to 21 and you feel like, you both have a understanding of that it's not going to be easy and we have to still grow and discover ourselves and discover each other, then that's great when you can have somebody to work through. But if you have, like I said, I was 22 and he was like 29. No, he was about to be 30. So it was tough because his mental wasn't 30, and the maturity level of certain things, and just it literally is. It depends, like Sheena said, it's case by case. Because I wouldn't recommend it, but I wouldn't say I'm not completely against it because it can work.
Yeah, I agree with you on the recommend. I probably wouldn't. I got married at 19, and it works, plural. But I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't be like, yeah, go and do it. You know what I'm saying? Just only because of the factor of you really don't know yourself.
Right.
18, I was fresh and getting into college. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know me at all. Me now, if she met me now, she probably like, dude, you doing a lot of stuff. Like, you are way different. So for that reason, typically. But I wouldn't mind it if both parties were around the same age, if that makes sense. And I know they say guys mature slower than girls, but I feel like if you guys are both in that same age range, not how you did it, because I really feel like older men or older women take advantage of younger people, and they really could be loving them. Not saying you can't love them, but it's just I don't like large age gaps with super young people. So yeah, I can agree. I wouldn't recommend, but I don't see anything wrong with it. it does have its pros and cons, just like everything else.
I still firmly believe in marrying young personally, because I also think that sexually, if you don't, the older you get, the more you explore, and then you end up comparing. It's almost impossible not to compare one lover to another.
Oh yeah, correct.
And so, and then also each person that you explore with, you're going to have these feelings. You start having these feelings, pretty early, 12, 13 maybe. And so asking someone to suppress it for the sake of age can be difficult. I know people that have done it, but it's very few. Very few. I'm talking about count on one hand.
Yeah,
how many? I know lots of people, but I can count on one hand how many people actually waited, saved themselves for marriage. And so, from a spiritual aspect, they're inviting. The longer they wait, the more partners they have a tendency to have, and you're inviting in spirits that have to be fought off later from their selves, from their children, and then from their spouse, from passing it on to their spouse. And so there's a lot of factors in there that makes me pro marry early, if you can. But again, subjective.
I don't mind the pro marrying early. It's the 18 to 21 range. So if I was to give a range, it would probably be 25 to 27. That would be my range too.
If I had to choose numbers, I would say 22 is not a bad age, but I would say 22 to maybe 27.
22 to 27. You got to give a 3-year gap. 3. This is 18, 19, 20. Oh, that's 4, 21. So I would do probably 24 to 27.
I mean, 22 to 20, 26, 25.
Yeah, I agree.
It would still be in my 20s. I wouldn't. Now, everybody can't control this, but I still would. Because I understand life happens to everyone.
My Lord.
But I would always say in your 20s. To marry in your 20s. Always.
Yeah.
And I understand people are like, why? But I really feel like marriage in your 20s. Growing with somebody is cool. It really is dope.
Absolutely. So. I recommend it. I do. I definitely recommend it. And I did definitely heard you guys' take on, basically finding out who you are first. However, I don't see anything wrong with finding out who you are in a marriage.
Oh, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? And out, not that you're stepping outside of the marriage, but finding out who you are in a marriage and out of a marriage while being married, right? Individually, while being married, as well. And I guess that was always something that I wanted to do.
I agree, because I just would not suggest that for the people coming up, like millennials and back. Yeah, y'all should. We should all got married in our 20s. I feel like these people that's here now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Damn, they need to wait till they're about 29.
I disagree.
I think they
need it more.
I just don't, cause
who's teaching them how to really love? Like, what are they?
It's
really
not even
saying?
that. It's I agree with that, but like, they just, I feel like
so
18-year-olds are still mental, like, because 18-year-olds when we were growing up, which ain't been long, were like legit 18, 19, 20, like we had on our head on our shoulders, and it's still possible for them, but I feel like 18-year-olds now are like 15-year-olds mentally still.
I think it's because it's all the influence in the world and all you can do this instead, you can do that instead. It's all the shortcuts. We had
lots of choices.
Yeah, they have too many choices, and it's overstimulating to the actual development of their brain, to where they don't even know themselves, and they're not even concerned about knowing themselves because they think they know themselves. And then, like we were saying earlier, when they have a personality over here, it's kind of causing them to be schizophrenic in a way, because it's like you have so many different things to choose from to be, and the world telling you, oh, be who you want to be true to yourself, walk in your truth. We didn't have all those slogans going around when we were growing up.
And they're very lazy. They're very lazy. This generation coming up is like not even just like,
I thought I was lazy.
Not physically lazy, like
no,
mentally lazy.
Mentally
lazy. They don't care to think. Like, I saw a post and it says y'all better get y'all health in check, because y'all future doctors are using Chat GPT to become doctors. And I thought that was a real statement. I had somebody in my chair using Chat GPT to do charts. Like, And I was like, oh man, this is like real. They're lazy mentally. So that's I'm just like,
too many options.
it's I feel like y'all
desensitizing.
much prayer for this current generation. Not saying they gonna fall by the wayside, because there's always gonna be some wonderful people in every age group. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody, but a good chunk of them need a lot of help and a lot of guidance.
Is
And-
it lazy, or are they just using the resources they have?
They're taking
Lazy.
a short way.
It is lazy.
Okay, well, using Chat PT to
GPT.
Chat GPT to do a chart sounds smart to me. You're using what you
Yeah,
have.
I didn't see nothing wrong with what she was doing. She already had her degree. She's actually a doctor in her
no,
degree
I'm
already.
not talking about her. I mean, like just as a reference, like using your resources is smart. Like you, that kind of, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but it kind of sounds like when the old folks was like, "I pick cotton. You need to be out there doing some work. Go get a trade, and you go out there and learn how to fix a car."
Yeah.
Like no, they're using what they have, the resources that we have, and in all
Yeah.
honesty, if we had them back then,
we use
we
them.
may not have had to do
struggle.
as much. So I don't know if it's them being now I will say a lot of them are lazy,
They are very
just
lazy.
in general. But in that situation, I think that's just more of them using their resources.
I use that as an example, but it's making them overall mentally lazy. Like, because you need your mind, your brain for your emotions, self-regulation, all of these things. And because they're mentally lazy in a certain area, it's making them mentally lazy everywhere else,
What area is making them mentally lazy?
especially emotionally. They are
Like being
not
able to
good.
They're using things like crashing out, like basically
They are not good emotionally.
throwing temper tantrums frequently. Is what she's saying.
But that's because the society is changing.
Correct. And you don't think that it has anything to do with social media or their phones, tablets, any of
Look
that
at
thing.
Casanat.
Streaming, exactly.
And look at him, he's a millionaire.
Yeah, but he is kind of
He
off his rockers.
maybe, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying as far as
So we're
like,
making yes, we're making them rich, but are they?
They don't have
Their EQ.
well, that's where he would need
Yeah.
somebody. That's where he would need someone around him to help him there.
But they're all
If he
kids
doesn't
that's
have
around him.
I don't know about that.
They're all around his same age.
I
The
mean,
people he
he had-
hangs
he-
with.
The people he hangs with, maybe. Well,
Yeah.
I think one of them is like 30 or something like that, Duke.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, regardless, we don't know who he has in his background.
We don't.
And on
Absolutely.
social media, it's a show.
It is. Absolutely.
So we don't know how they really are. I don't know. I think they should use the resources they have. I think it's less of social media. It's partly social media, but it's just the society going down the drain. if I'm
right.
to be
But I
honest
feel
with you.
like a lot
It
of
is
it
what it
is everybody thinks, which you can if you really apply yourself, but everybody feels like I can make it through social media. And everybody's trying to find their way in the social media world, or trying to have some type of platform or some type of
Yeah, but
way
that's
of
just like the
following.
people back in the day saying they thought they Get Out was the league. They could
True.
make the league.
I
But
mean,
did
yeah,
you
but I'm
see-
saying
But it
I know
was
everybody's
gold.
not gonna make
They
it.
said, I think, by 2030 or something, it was one of those numbers. They're gonna need like a certain amount, like 10,000 plumbers, because and electricians, because nobody is getting into trades anymore.
But that's because the government trash,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not making as much money as they should be making.
Trades,
I mean, some trade. Like you talking well,
trades is making good money, and they're
Okay,
on
good
a high
money.
demand. They're on a very high demand, so they're paying
Let me
them
go be a
even
plumber.
more.
Okay, I can see you're right about
You know what I'm
that.
saying? Like because people they don't want to become plumbers anymore. They don't want to become HVAC workers anymore. They don't
They
want to
wanna
become
be
electricians.
YouTubers.
They want to
Okay,
be
well, that would-
YouTubers. So we're
align
just
with your
saying
point.
that's what I'm saying. Like y'all are pushing not every y'all, but social media is pushing social media. Like this is the only get rich quick scheme. They're pushing digital marketing. They're pushing everything AI and stuff like that, which is good. It really is good. I use Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? I ain't dogging on it, but my profession is a trade. You know what I'm saying? I went to a cosmetology school, which is technically a trade. And I make good money. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of people out here wanting to do hair anymore the right way. It's people just trying to do it just to get
in
money.
that grandmama kitchen.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
or just in general, and
These
not being
girls be
clean.
having, and no offense if this is what you're doing, but just so you know, it is illegal.
In North Carolina.
And it's in North Carolina, and it can get you in trouble and prevent you from, like, you shouldn't have a
You're literally not allowed to do hair in North Carolina in your home.
a booking site for your house.
That is wild work.
Unless it's a
Yeah.
designated area. And
Like a-
you can
like a
use that as
shed.
a tax write-off.
Like a
You
shed.
can use any room.
Right. I mean, exactly. Like
I
if
don't
you
like-
have
I don't-
something built
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
code.
house stuff.
I
That's
think
Bring
it
it
needs-
different. But I'm talking
appliances.
about you going in your kitchen frying chicken
Oh, yeah, that's
next
wild work.
to this curling iron.
That's crazy.
You know, that shouldn't. That you like. You got to be really brave in order to do that because
Yeah.
of the fact that if you're ever discovered or somebody decides they want to hate on you and they report you, you can't get your license.
Well, if they ain't
And
got
not only
license-
that,
How
but
would they even prove it?
But I say if they ain't got license, they can't be technically.
you said how do they prove it?
Yeah.
You got a booking site.
Yeah, but that's an anomaly. That doesn't happen that much. Most of them.
They have booking
Well, I'm
sites.
not in the field, so it's
These
really
girls-
like that.
we are rare because we don't have booking sites. I don't
Right.
use booking sites because I agree with Sheena because I was gonna use a booking site, but when Sheena was like, I can't do that because you never know the state a client hair is gonna come in and they're going on my booking site picking something and that's not even what they need. So I was like,
Right.
so I took her
Make it
advice,
personal.
right? So I took her advice and I only do it by call or text, so I can actually talk to you.
Yes, hear what you
and,
need,
You know,
what you
hear what you
Take-
need.
Cater to what your hair actually needs.
Because sometimes the booking site may I'm gonna say I might be done in 2 hours, but it's actually gonna take me 4 because you need a detangle added on, you need a deep condition added on. You know what I'm saying? So we don't use booking sites,
And that's because
but
we care
that's
about
rare.
people's hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of the time, these stylists are telling you, come wash,
Right.
come wash, blow dry, style,
Mhm.
separated, parted, and I'm just gonna stand over your head
That's true.
and pray,
Mhm.
and you go
and
home
and you
Like,
in your
I don't know-
house.
right? But exactly. So the
And
thing
it's in your
is,
house.
it's number one, it's unsanitary. Number two, it's dangerous.
Because you're in their space.
Right.
Like-
there's no liability. You know, like as far there's no accountability because if
Mhm.
they do something wrong, who you suing?
But to get back to, I mean, to bring that to the,
Trades and stuff.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
like that's been going on well before our generation. Grandma
so?
used to take a hot comb and put it through that baby head.
Yeah, it was illegal in
All
North
this
Carolina.
stuff been going on, so that's not changing the trajectory.
But
All
they
this stuff
won't
been
use them
going.
booking
No,
sites
but
They
either.
just
Yeah,
It's
but
the way you're presenting it as if you're so professional, but in the North Carolina, you can't have a booking site and do that from your house. It's not, and not be licensed.
okay. I mean, that's a fair point. But I'm just saying, as far as like where
They did it
you know,
under the
them-
table,
how
grandma.
the kids
Trades
are
and stuff,
going
yeah.
and all of this stuff. This is all the same.
But they
stuff.
don't want electrician makes good money. Like they really,
Really
do.
good.
Plumbers make good money
needed.
now.
They're needed.
Now they really are needed, and I think
I was an electrician for about 3 months. But they moved. It was like a traveling thing. I won't try to travel.
oh, that would have been so cool for us. I would have still married you.
No, you wouldn't.
I would have still married you.
Okay. I was dating
You
when
would've
we
traveled?
did when I did.
I would have
when
traveled.
had
Well, I
You
don't
were
know about
19.
her. I don't
You
know about
weren't
her.
Gonna do it.
Yeah, me now. Yeah, I would have did it.
And I was making
But
good
me,
money,
her.
but
I don't know if she would have
Not
did
be
it.
her.
Yeah,
Me.
I don't know if
that's why I
she
said
would have did it
you
because
won't-
she
you
different.
won't- Heck no.
She
But
different.
basically, Aaron was saying, how would they prove it? Like, if you're posting your work on Facebook and you're promoting booking site, book with me, book sis, and you ain't got no cosmetology license, or they doing nails, no cosmetology. Like, I mean, they doing a full blown site. They are booked out for months.
Has anybody ever got in trouble for that though? Because I actually think that's one of the. It's a rule, but it's not like enforced. Like you have,
It isn't.
you have like you can't go 45. I mean, you can't go 5 over 45. Technically, 45 is the limit, and you should be getting
At
a ticket at
45.
41. But everybody
46.
goes at 46. Everybody goes 50 at least. Well, most
Absolutely.
people,
And it's excused.
And it's excused. So
Yeah.
is that something that they actually enforce, even
No.
though it's a rule?
Only if you petty and like you call state board.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying.
So like that stuff don't matter.
But we still need plumbers and we still need HVAC workers. We still
I
need
agree.
electricians.
But
And
if
I
you
don't
can-
think that society will let them humble themselves enough to get that trade unless they have a mentor or a good family or something like that. But if they're solely relying on social media, friends, get rich quick schemes, all of that stuff, they're gonna fall into that trap. You know what I'm
So
saying?
they need teachers.
They
Need
need
somebody wise
but
around them.
the teachers and mentors are so exhausted because these kids is bad. You know how many teachers to be like, yeah, these kids is a different breed.
I will say kids have gotten progressively worse, and it's
Awful.
probably just gonna get worse
They are awful.
for the people in society. But what are you gonna do?
Pray for them. That's what I'm saying.
So that would be a reason
That's what I'm
why
saying.
you would
I
advise
would
people
not suggest this generation coming
That's
up
fair.
to never. I wouldn't suggest them to get married at 18 to 21 unless you are like
old souls.
something else. You need a
You have
mentor.
examples.
Examples.
Yeah.
You need a good EQ, a IQ. You need all the Qs.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Need
have
him
your
most of
head
all.
on real
You gotta
straight.
have Jesus,
So-
the Holy Spirit.
That's why I said my
Number one.
age
The angels
range
and all them.
for the people that's coming up
Mhm.
will be about 20, 25 to about 27. You know what I'm saying? Little older. You know what I'm saying? You ain't unk age, you know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. But
Yeah.
you're a little older, a little bit more mature because they are maturing progressively slower now.
So what are the cons of marrying later though?
You ain't got no eggs.
That's not always the case.
I'm joking,
No marching
guys.
soldiers.
I'm
nah.
joking. I'm joking.
But it is a
the
higher
cons,
risk.
The cons are, again, for me, you've already learned how to do
Set
stuff
in
on
your
own.
ways.
Yeah, set in your ways.
Absolutely.
The reproductive, your body, the older you are when you have kids, for a woman, there's a tendency. Now, you have exceptions to every rule, but you have a tendency not to spring back as fast as when you're in your 20s.
Then your patience lower.
Yeah, well, it depends. Some
It
people,
might, yeah.
some people get more patient when they get older. Some people lose.
It might be a little harder too to get pregnant because of your age.
Right. And
Yeah.
on top of that, energy levels, you know.
Mhm.
What else? It's a lot. But I mean, there's a lot of cons to getting married young too.
Correct.
So what do you think the pros would be with getting married later?
Maturity, possibly.
A maturity, the ability to communicate better
You might be
because
more.
you've learned more. Savings and
Child,
hopefully have
But I say
learned
you might
something
be
about
more
financially stable.
Yeah,
At least
you should be.
yes, and at least knowing what you want to do, just career wise or whatever, you got to be making some sort of money if you made it that far. Hopefully, you're not in your mama's basement just chilling. But yeah, just wisdom, knowledge.
You know, another con you might have a lot of. Another con is that person might already have a lot of children and have
Mhm.
baggage, a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
with baby
again.
mamas, baby daddies.
Yeah, that goes with
the
what I was
cons,
saying
yeah.
earlier about having more partners because
Or
you,
even what if they got married early and it didn't work out and they just have kids that from the last marriage and now it's just like they just have not.
That's a whole different
technically
You're
those
still
kids are-
technically a little
baggage,
baggage.
but-
Yeah.
It's still complete baggage. That's even probably worse, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
We know.
yeah, but if we're that's a whole nother conversation
It
though.
is.
But it would be, how is that completely worse though? It's honestly, it's not as bad as if it's like, say if this person has 4 kids, but it's 4 different baby daddies, but it's 4 kids from just one marriage.
Because it would be worse if it's honestly, I don't know how to compare it because 4 kids with 4 baby daddies, like that's wild work.
That's diabolical.
And so, but I don't know if I would say worse, but it's still probably close to just as bad. Not just as bad.
But honestly,
it's not just as bad.
Honestly,
but
the older you get, the more they become like blended families. Like a lot of them don't have like one person has kids.
yeah, but
both
you're talking
of
about
them
up in
have
the
kids.
40s and stuff like
That's
that.
what we're talking about. Older.
Oh, I thought when you older, like over 30.
No, that's not old to me. Old to
No,
me,
like older in marriage years. Yes, it is.
I get. I feel like young. You're still
Because
kinda
you
young.
start losing the eggs in.
I say
at
35,
around 30,
young-
31.
35 and
you start
35.
losing them.
35 is high risk pregnancy.
That's what I'm saying.
Technically, around later than that is high. Earlier than that is high risk. Technically, it
Which is why
your
they
prime
said-
years of reproduction for a woman is in their 20s. So even if you go past your 30, you still are in high risk. But it's happening a lot more now.
I wouldn't call it high risk at 30 though.
I wouldn't either. But they put
But-
labels on you all the time.
That's
well,
true.
when I was, going, having kids, they told me that 35 and up is considered high risk.
But they putting people earlier
That's
now.
why.
But again, I mean,
Think
people
for
are having
yourself.
babies late now.
Exactly.
This is people,
it's
women in
very-
their
how
40s
old
and
is
50s having babies.
Sierra, she just had a baby a couple years ago.
Rihanna's like 37. It's her third
I
one.
thought I saw somewhere where somebody was 40 and had a baby. It was one
Janet
of the
Jackson was 50.
celebrities. No,
Dang,
I
she
don't
had a
know. She
baby.
had that baby for real.
I think she did because did you see her?
No, I did not.
Yeah, she was swole
Ashanti,
everywhere.
Ashanti. She
Yeah,
had a
she's
baby
in her
late.
40s.
That's who it was.
Beyonce.
Because she's like 40, ain't she?
She's in her
Yes.
40s.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
She was in her 30s.
Beyonce and Carrie, one of them babies.
Yeah, but
at
she was in
least.
her late 30s.
She didn't carry Blue. I
mid-30s.
don't care what nobody say. Y'all can fight with your mama. She
But
didn't carry
I
Blue.
think Janet carried
She
that
carried
baby.
them twins, but she ain't carried
No
Blue.
offense, Janet, but you know, you look pregnant.
Beyonce,
She
you
had the
didn't
full
carry Blue.
pregnancy experience
carried
on the
the
extreme
twins.
level, huh?
Whew.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And I think that's what she wanted. I think she wanted to know what it was like to carry life. And so she, went
'Cause how
through
can
it.
you
But she
live
was
that
so
down?
swollen, like her
she
face
sat
and
on
stuff.
that
Yeah, she
thing,
had
on
that
that
baby.
panel.
Do y'all
That
think
is a telltale sign. Not all the time, but for some reason, like something changes. Your nose might change, your cheeks change. Something changes
And
on you
yeah.
physically a lot of the times when you are pregnant.
And after she had that baby, she had to go do something because her face got looked more what's it, plastic surgery.
Like my
I
client,
don't have the right word for it.
my client who just came in today. Her nose is starting to spread. It wasn't always spread. She's almost done with her pregnancy, but her you can tell her nose is starting to spread a little bit.
Like what? Who carries? Why are we carrying babies in our nose?
I don't
Explain to
understand
me why
that
the
either.
fluid what the
He said,
fluid
"Listen,
just
we're
be like,
gonna
you know what?
expand this right here nose."
And
As
she
if
having
it's-
a girl. Yours did that too. Maybe
yeah,
it's a girl
mine
thing.
did that too.
Yeah, just carrying babies in your face. What is
Child.
happening here?
Lord, I hope I'm
Well,
blessed like last time. We
the
should carry
reason-
my burdens. Carry the
so?
burdens.
Even if it
Risha.
was
That's so ghetto.
a marriage, I said that's still pretty bad.
if both of them
because-
have children, he has 3, she has 3, and they come a blended family together.
But they don't want no more.
But they don't want any more children.
well, then fine. I mean, if that works, but I mean,
That's
if
what I'm looking for.
you want a blended family,
Cause she
'Cause
don't want no more.
I don't want no more kids, so I don't want the obligation
what
of
if
him
they
looking
just
at
don't
me.
want no babies?
Huh? Oh, none. Well, he gonna have 2.
No, I mean babies,
Oh well.
babies,
He
not
won't get none
kids.
anyway.
Oh yeah, if you don't want none, he'd be good.
I'm looking for a baby daddy. Okay, I'm taking
You're
applications.
not looking for a baby daddy. You're looking for a man.
Suitor.
But I'm
a
gonna be his. But
stepfather.
I'm gonna be his baby mama because I'm a mother his kids.
What if they grown?
I'm a mother them too.
How you gonna mother an adult that already
It's-
got a mama?
I'm an adult and
Okay,
I still
well,
want
this
my
might
mama.
be-
them
this
coming
might be a
in
little
and fathering
dark.
Your kids.
This might be a little
Okay.
dark with y'all. Like, would you you prefer
It's a
somebody
joke,
who's like widowed? Like, you think people who want somebody that's gone?
I think that
Is
I
it
don't have
to
a
be
problem with
easier?
that. It just depends. Do you have PTSD from it?
Yeah, but they're never gonna love you like the one that passed.
If they loved them, what if they killed them? I'll be
Hit you
going
with
dark.
that dark
Gosh,
mess.
I'm sorry.
If they did love each other though, I don't think
The heck?
because if they was alive.
Why would I marry somebody that killed somebody?
You wouldn't know.
Have y'all ever seen this movie with Jake Gyllenhaal called The Brothers?
I don't even know who Jake Gyllenhaal
Nope.
is.
So he was in the army and he left and went to war and he was pronounced dead,
Yeah.
but they never found the body. And about 5 years later, he came back and the woman had married his brother. How should that situation go? Should
You
she
trifling.
leave the brother? Should
Good
she
for
leave
nothing.
the brother?
Type
Because
of
even
sister.
even if he did pass, why would you do that?
No, I agree, but
Why'd
I
you keep
mean,
it in the family?
they did it
I
in the
think that
Bible
is
days.
so weird. Okay,
It's
we're not in the
still
Bible
not
days no
cool.
more.
That's a fair point. I'm
Like
just
that is
saying.
so weird. I
My
can't even
thing
think
is,
about
was
it.
you looking at him
It's
before?
so many. That's what I be thinking.
Yeah.
Cause if I wasn't never passed away, well, that
And
person
they'd be
was
like,
never passed
he was
away.
there. He comforted me,
Nah,
but
we
that
got
was
to
your
fight.
brother-in-law. Like that was your brother-in-law.
He said, "No, we gotta fight."
Ghostly fight. Oh no, he alive.
So what
He
if it was
alive.
just a regular dude then?
That'd be
That's
different.
fine.
Yeah.
You
No,
going
but
after
he
my
comes
brother?
back.
I mean,
What
they-
decision should she be
She
making?
need to go to her husband.
No, she got to figure out some
She
stuff.
need to take a break. She need to
here's
take
the
a break
thing.
for
Wait a
everybody,
minute.
honestly.
She got to figure that out.
That's what I said. Take a
Like
break from
within
everybody.
herself, she need to do this quick because it depends. Like, do she got kids by this new man?
She got kids by the old man.
Like, it's right, kids by the old man. Like, it's a lot of factors to factor
5
in.
years.
Factor
Is,
in.
how old were they? Were they really in love?
Yeah.
Because if you were really in love, 5 years. Like if you were,
Maybe she was
That's
like,
a
"This is the closest
long-
thing I got to him."
Look, man.
You
I
could
done
do that.
Seen, I done seen
And she tried to
pastors
replace him.
where they wife died, and a year or two later they married.
I I understand.
that.
I guess the older
peop-
you get, because some people don't want to be alone.
That part, sleeping alone,
You know
it
what
can
I'm
be
saying?
a traumatic experience for some people.
But I'm like, get a puppy.
Yeah, but that's not fair to the partner. Then
it's
the
not fair
spouse.
to the partner either. I agree.
Then they shouldn't be with them. Like, you
Well,
can't do
Well,
that
I mean,
to
why
nobody.
can't
Some of them
they?
pastors
But I
don't
mean,
wanna
you
be
don't. Well,
funny.
you can't say that because you don't know the circumstance. Like, are they in love with them? Do
Risha
they?
said
No,
some
but
of the
the
pastors don't want to be fornicating.
Never know.
You're right, but
never know.
the motivation is
Or they
I don't
like
want to
the
be
look
alone.
of it.
Not that I want to find someone to like that
My-
I love and everything. Is that they don't want to be alone? That's not fair.
The thing about marriage is people are getting married for all types of reasons. It's people that get married as a partnership and stay together till death do them part, and it's a partnership. It's
Well,
people
they
that
don't
are
cheat.
getting.
That's on them. That's the life
But
they want.
what I'm saying is, we got marriages out here based upon she got pregnant. So
Shotgun wedding.
yeah, so I better
they
marry her.
They thought we was gonna do that.
My God, they
You
thought.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
were
Shotgun
pregnant.
wedding.
So,
I was
I'm just
pregnant.
When I
saying,
tell you
like,
they thought they
it's,
were pregnant.
They thought other people was pregnant too. Your best, yeah. The folks. Her family,
Yeah,
my
you
best.
know,
not her
you know.
family, but the guy family. Yeah.
Well, I
No,
mean,
it's
it's
like,
all
no, that's
kinds
not
of
always the
reasons why
case.
people come together anyway, and they not all because they in love. You know what I'm saying? It's people out here with great marriages to a gold digger. I mean, she was like,
I saw a guy on TikTok and says rich people don't care about you being a gold digger.
right, because it's just like you make me happy.
Not like
You're
small
somebody.
rich, but like rich.
Yeah, now I'm
rich.
not saying
but
that that's
more,
right.
They more got a trophy wife.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they out there
but they
sleeping
are
around.
happy
That's
and
why they said they didn't
excited,
care.
knowing that
But
that's
is
what
that-
it is.
But is that how marriage should be?
I didn't say it's how it should be.
So
She's
then
just saying
forget
it's
what they
different
out there
reasons.
doing.
I'm
What
saying-
should she? What?
Ooh.
Like if she had a great marriage with the guy that supposedly died, and now she has a great marriage with this guy.
I personally think she trifling anyway. So I
It's hard
personally
for me
think,
to-
Trifling for 5 years?
yeah, to
To
her brother,
his brother, yes.
No, no, no.
I
I
don't
mean, if
care
it's
how
just a
many
random
years.
guy.
random
Oh,
guys.
no, she's fine.
So then who?
I
who-
still personally think 5 years is a little short.
I mean, look,
Especially if you were in love and you're young. Say this happened.
You
he died at
to tell me
25
it's gonna take you 5 years
to get over my husband. Absolutely,
Yeah.
maybe longer.
No, well,
No
oh, you
one-
wild
hey.
out. Oh heck no. I don't
Yeah,
know what I would do.
Absolutely, like
that's
that is mentally. I don't even want to think about it because like it probably make me tear up. But like, say she's 25. You know what I'm saying? They were deeply
I don't
in
think
love.
that's unreasonable. I don't think.
I don't think
5
it's
years is
unreasonable, but I don't think that's 5 years is short to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
say
even
she was
hard to
25,
comprehend, like,
it's hard to
5
comprehend.
And it
years.
depends on how long they was married.
Like,
That's
that's-
what I'm saying. Say if they were married straight out of high school. Let's create a timeline. This happened when she was 25. They were together for 6 years. Let's say 6 years. They were married, happily in love, built a great life together. And she was devastated when he died. So you telling me he comes back at 30, 31 or whatever, and she has moved on with his brother. To me, that is diabolical.
Or just
the
anybody.
brother thing. I don't care.
Yeah,
if you
okay.
took
The brother was
30
exist,
years.
Okay.
but
We
outside
say
of
Let's
anybody.
take the
brother.
brother out. You're correct. Take
I-
the brother out and let it be anybody. I wouldn't blame her as much, but it's still giving me 70-30. Like 70,
thing.
like nah, you shouldn't have
Here's
did
the
that.
thing.
So
shit.
should she
If
leave?
this young lady, I mean,
I wouldn't do it automatically. She does need time to
Should
like.
she leave the man? Because somebody gonna get hurt.
Somebody's gonna get hurt regardless.
She need to figure out
Technically,
what she
she's
wants.
still married.
Right, I agree with that. She
Technically,
has to-
she's still married to her husband. If he's not dead,
it's a lot of factors. to factor
technically
in.
she's still married to him until he
'Cause
he
I'd
actually
be
get
pissed.
a divorce
It's a lot.
decree.
You pissed or not? I mean, it's not. It's not. Is this the same man?
I was sabotage. Y'all already
it
know
could
me.
be.
Actually, you know what? That's a fair point.
You
Shannon.
know what I'm saying?
That is
like,
a fair point.
is this
What?
the same man? You get what I'm saying? Like, is he waking up in the middle of the night trying to kill me now?
I ain't gonna lie, he was crazy.
Because it was because of the PTSD thing from wars and
Yeah.
like, is this the same? Do I want to go back and go through that after? Because I already grieved. It's a lot of factors to factor in here. I think that it's a lot.
But
to
then that's
unpack.
something you're gonna have to learn to face every day.
Right, and
Say
if
if
you
y'all
got a
have kids
stable gentleman
It'll
that
never
you
be
are
stable.
good.
It'll
No,
ne-
I'm,
it
I'm
will
It'll
talking
never
about.
be stable.
No, I'm talking about
No,
that
because
that
every
she
time I
married.
see him, it's on site. It'll never be stable. They're gonna
That's
have to
I
lock
agree.
me
I was
up.
sabotaged
They would have to lock
so
me
hard.
under
don't
the
even do
jail.
fighting.
Well, if you
Every
fight
single
one time,
I
you
fail,
already
it's
like.
over. So either you're gonna leave him and come back to me, or you ain't gonna have nobody.
Well,
I would be so.
no.
If I can't have
we
you,
about
nobody
to,
will.
we
That's
moving.
that
We gonna
crazy
do
stuff.
something because the thing is, if he's crazy now, I don't care. I'm not going back to him.
Fine, then be by yourself. That'll
No,
be fine.
and I'm gonna be with my husband. I'm
No,
gonna be
that
happy.
husband. Okay, then me and the husband are gonna die.
That
No,
happened.
about
In,
that?
you remember in Simple Favor? In
I
Simple
never
Favor,
seen that.
she was nasty.
She faked her death, right?
No, so no,
That's the
the
second
other
one.
the other girl. No, the other
Oh, the
girl.
first one?
Yeah, the first one. When her husband found out that her and her stepbrother were having an affair. Yeah, so the girl is sleeping with stepbrother. She has a stepbrother, half brother. They brothers and sisters. Husband finds out and literally kills both of them. He's like, yeah, come with me on a car ride. I just want to chill with you for a little bit. Kills both of them in a horrible car accident. I said, Jesus.
He killed himself too.
Killed himself and the brother.
Oh,
And left her with his son. And they
Wow.
don't know who, she doesn't technically know who the son belongs to.
That's tough.
And she'll
Yikes.
never know.
That's just
She
a
don't
tough
want to.
situation for her, him, and the husband. To be honest with you,
Yeah, like I said, that's a
People
lot to
crazy,
unpack.
bro.
Can't make this some
You
crazy
can't just
stuff.
you can't
That's
just
why
be like, oh,
if
if she
the-
should choose him. Or,
If
oh, she should
marriage
choose him.
was the way God designed it, we wouldn't have all of this flabbergastery.
That's true.
For sure.
That's true.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I think you should get married younger too. Now, although Tay was 19, I would say a range of maybe 21 to 25 or
For this
something
generation
like that.
coming up?
For this generation coming up.
That's my whole thing about it. They're different, man.
Like I said, I think subjective, but at the
different.
same time, this generation.
What 18-year-old we know, or 18 to 20-year-old, we don't really even know. We know some 18-year-olds. They ain't ready to get married.
Nehemiah.
That is-
They're not ready to get
No,
married.
not my son, but I would say my daughter. I trust her judgment. I really would. I really would.
Mari told me she
I
wanted,
wouldn't want her
she
to.
wanted to
Don't get me
have a
wrong.
whole nother room. I don't know
Yes,
if Mari ready.
But
either.
that's how I know if she was to do it, then she'd really like. Mari thinks everything through too. And another thing is, again, girls do mature faster than boys.
correct.
But like, I wouldn't want her to. Don't get me wrong. I would be upset. But at the same time, I know that she's got the mind
The
to
crazy
be
thing
able
is-
to navigate that.
I got so-called proposed to at 16. I want to
Nah,
say.
that's wild work. proposing
Yeah,
at 16.
it was back in the day, and my mom was okay with it. His mom was like, "Why can't you just make it a promise ring? Why do you have to be engaged? Because we was just gonna marry outside of high school. Like that's how much I felt like we felt like we was in love, and that's crazy. Like I had the ring and everything. Like he got down and we did it in the room and nobody know.
Boy, young love be dumb as a mug, don't it?
But the thing is, we probably would have still been together. I broke up with him. Like I was emotional.
Is it who I'm thinking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then I ended
Yeah,
up going to his
understandable.
wedding years later.
Which is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Anyway.
So yeah, marry young. Because in all honesty, especially the way this world going, the way people dying, you don't know what's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah.
So you got to plan to wait till you 30, 32, 33, and you don't know if
You're even
you're
gonna
gonna
get
even
to
be
do
here.
that. And that was the point I was trying to make. You reminded me of the point that I was trying to make as far as the young lady, like when you was like, 5 years. But my thing is, if they don't have you don't have no children or anything like that, and let's say you are 25, 30, and because you got married at 25, you were saying, right?
No,
Like
you got married out of high school.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different. But like, basically, if you think of, I want a family, I want kids, and that's one of your dreams, and your person passes away, that that is unbelievable. That's
Very true.
that's incredibly painful. But you know what I'm saying, you don't, to me, if that is still your dream, unless the dream dies with him, and that's understandable. But if you still have that hope, you don't have 10, 15 years to grieve and wait until to have kids. Like, that's not wise in my opinion. So again,
make all the
a
mistakes.
lot of factors.
So get over
Whole lot of
get
factors.
over the
No,
spouse
not get
dying
over it. Not get
and go
over
out
it.
there and have a baby.
Because
No,
technically
not
in your
get over
20s
it.
it's easier to bounce back
Well,
from
it's-
stuff. Not just a baby, but emotionally. Like it's your 20s are meant for mistakes.
You think so?
Your 20s are meant for mistakes.
Mentally, you think it's easier to bounce back? I wouldn't agree.
No,
there.
not mentally. You have a longer chance to bounce back. You know, people, because technically
More
you'll
time.
live a little longer. You know, stuff like that. You know, so in your 20s you have more time than you do in your 30s and 40s. Well, I want to take 30s out of that because I still feel like you have time.
So basically, okay, so if she was to marry at early out of high school, that's like what, 19?
Yeah,
Okay.
18 technically, but yeah.
Okay, let's say 20. And then she's 25
Mm-hmm.
when he passes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're saying wait 5 years to grieve.
Mm-hmm.
Over 5 years. 5 years is short.
Mm-hmm.
So how long? 10, 15 years?
It would have to be up to her, but I don't know because
If 5 is short,
5 is
I'm trying to figure out,
short-ish.
in your opinion,
Yeah.
what is
But
about
my opinion
right?
is based on my marriage. So for somebody who may not even care or like their spouse that much, it might just be like, oh yeah,
No,
ooh,
she
I'm
loved
glad
him.
she's
I'm
gone.
talking about you in love. But I'm trying to figure out at what point, if she still has the dream of a family,
Mm-hmm.
why is 5 years?
Did she have kids?
I think they may have had one son.
So they already had one.
Okay, well
I
then
believe
that's
so.
you know, but but like I said, it's so many things to factor in. Like if you still have the dream of children,
Mm-hmm.
then you might want to consider, you know, maybe 5, 6. You know, you gotta put a
So you're
cap
gonna
on
put
it.
a time limit on that grief.
If not grief.
But you have to be careful. I would give her, if she wanted a feeling, I understand, like, you know, meeting somebody and stuff like that, but I don't want her to also to be grieving and produce a kid, and now you got that kid wrapped around in your grief, and like, oh, I want this family with
That's
him.
what I was saying.
You know what I'm saying? I
you're-
want this family
You're
with him.
fast tracking it
So
because you
I
feel
don't
like
know.
you're getting older. That's not even fair.
It's
to
not
the person
wise,
you're doing it
and it's
with.
not fair to a potential
Grief-
child either.
I don't think grief is something that you can fast track, but I do believe that you can go to counseling and you can do the proper things so that you don't spend a lifetime grieving.
Yeah, I don't think she should spend a lifetime grieving. I think if you know she's actually healed, not healed and learning to live life without him in a positive way, that's fine. But I think meeting someone, falling in love with that person enough to the point where look, I can have a baby with that person in 5 years, to me is short.
Okay. Understandably so. Yeah, I definitely think that is also subjective.
Yeah.
Like everything in this world. Everything is
Yeah.
subjective
Oh
to
Lord,
the
y'all!
person.
I just yawned on the camera like I'm bored.
Oh, I done did that
I'm
like
so
several
sorry.
times.
I mean, it was a big yawn too. Like normally I hold it in, but I said, like, dang.
So actually, what happened was, so this is Jake Gyllenhaal and Spider-Man, not Andrew, but the first,
The first
Tobey
one, ugh.
Maguire.
Yeah.
So Toby, they say his plane got shot
I gotta
down.
watch this movie now.
He's presumed dead,
Mm-hmm.
and so his brother, who they aren't close, says that he's going to take care of his wife and kids because he
So
had
he-
multiple kids.
Oh.
And apparently they got too close and ended up getting together and got married. And then Toby comes back.
Oh, so they big trifling. He preyed on her. Oh, and they have multiple kids. That's even worse. Yeah, heck, 5 years. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And they had kids. I'm sorry.
I will
It ain't
on
enough distance
site
between for
every
your brother.
on site every time. Every time. But my on site would be different. Mine would be flirtatious. Mine would be making you fall in love with me again. It wouldn't be even towards the brother. Like, okay, I got you. I'm gonna get her. Just wait. She gonna fall in love with me. I love her again.
I know.
So,
I
know how to get them.
You can have whatever
You're
you like.
just wait, ma'am. You just wait. You think you got them now? Oh, you just wait.
I was gonna give
You
an
cute.
older person joke that y'all wouldn't have got. So
No, shoot your shot. What was it?
Right. I want to
hear
hear it now.
I want to
You-
hear it too.
you
ain't that
saying
much older
no
than me.
because y'all not about to get no.
It's okay.
You're
Go
not
ahead.
that much older than me, Sheena.
Go ahead. Say it.
You just saying you wait, and I don't want to do it anymore. It's not gonna work.
Go ahead. I'm not gonna look at you. Go ahead and say it.
It's a really old
Just you
movie
wait.
reference.
Just you wait. So I'm gonna get them back. Just you wait. Just you wait.
I can't. We moving on.
Well, what was the movie?
It was My Fair Lady.
Yeah, you're right. You would have been right by yourself.
Never seen that. I didn't even know what you talking about.
It don't even sound like a movie I would watch.
Y'all are
It's an
funny.
old movie. It's okay. I get it.
Right.
I'm older.
Anyway, what was the topic? Get the beard off.
Should a person date 18 to 21?
Mary.
Mary.
I say go and get you married around anywhere from 20 to 27. Get married. Cause
I
30,
say-
you're gonna 30 is too long. You could be taking that 10 years. You trying to take that 10 years to find yourself, and y'all could be growing together. Now, when you get married at 30, now you got to grow together through your 30s. Now you older at 40, and then some people just start to learn their spouse at 40 if they get married at 30. And so now you finally start to living your life, but hips start to move. Hips start to get a little pain once you get towards 50.
No. Who hips?
I
Speak that for you.
say-
Yes or no?
I say get
Some
married in between 24 and 27. You'll be out of college. Preferably, you'll have, if you go to college, you'll be out of trade. You'll have a little sense of something else, little substance. A lot of 18-year-olds is still at home with their mamas, and that's okay because you're only 18. You got to figure this thing out. So by 24, I think you're a little bit better. So by 24 to 18, that's my suggestion.
Oh, you said 24 to 27.
I say-
24, yeah. Thank you so much. I said 24 to
How
18.
you backtrack like
How
that?
did I do that?
You're a little sleepy.
24 to 27. That's my age range to get married.
I say early 20s.
Give an age range, please.
20 to 28. That gives you time to get to know each other, and then you can have a baby and grow together. Go to college together. Figure it out. The more you work through, the better off your relationship is.
You did.
The Eddie Murphy laugh.
I thought it was a Major Pain laugh. You know that
Yes.
laugh? Yes.
I'm gonna say 24 to at least 30 is a good age. And that's
Dang.
6 ages. I'm at 6 years.
30 ain't bad, bro. 30 ain't bad.
That's just me.
Give hope for the 30-year-olds, bro.
I mean, I'm about to be 30, and I'm hoping to get married again.
I'm about to be
so-
40. Let's do this.
You are 40.
41. I literally had 41 in my mind and said 40.
It's okay.
About to be
Well,
41,
I'm about
and
to
let's
be
do this.
30 July 6th, so I definitely am going.
Wedding
to
vows
marry
coming up.
eventually.
I just want somebody to get married somewhere not here.
Coming
Take
to a
me
church
somewhere
near you.
else. No.
Okay, we're changing
let's
the
not
topic.
Go to an island near you.
There we go.
We'll talk about that next time. What we decide.
Oh,
on destination weddings.
Yeah. Yeah. Our
Destination
dream weddings and
like
stuff.
Dream weddings.
Dream
destination
weddings.
Let's do
That's
it because we
definitely
got
a
weddings
topic.
to plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, booze to find.
Why are you doing it? No, I'm not finding nobody. They finding us.
They finding us
Amen.
They should be somewhere in prayer right now.
in prayer because you're gonna have to go through Jesus to
Amen.
get to me.
Yes, Lord.
You're just gonna have. You can't skip over that door, or you can't come in.
No hopscotch over there.
Amen.
Don't even knock.
So, guys,
Don't even knock.
this has been another episode of Maybe We Can Help. We hope you helped you. Did I say that right? We hoped you helped you.
No,
We hope-
we helped you.
We hope we helped you. That's not right. We
Yeah,
hope-
you
That
did
is
it
right.
Correct. Just end the podcast, please. Jesus Christ.
What?
She a little sleepy, y'all. And I don't know how to close
Aren't
this
we
out
all
all the way.
Aren't we all?
I don't know how to say the words like that.
This has been another episode of Maybe We Can Help. I'm Deja Royale.
I'm Sheena.
I'm Risha.
And y'all have a good one. Bye.
Bye.